Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss something that I've been watching numerous videos about, which is how to be a professional artist. And I want to save you guys some time. You don't need to go and watch an hour-long video from someone else. I'm going to do this in pretty much like 30 minutes because I got to be somewhere today. I'm helping out a friend, taking her to the doctor, so we'll see if I can get this done. But so today I'm just gonna start by saying, if you love to paint or create art, like maybe you're a pottery maker, maybe you're jewelry maker. Hi, Laura, if you're there. Maybe you make cards, greeting cards with stamps and ink and paper. Maybe you're someone who does mixed media, or you could be someone who does any kind of creative endeavor, like maybe you're a poet, maybe you're an artist who um, does digital artwork, maybe you're someone who creates amazing movies or short videos, or maybe you're someone who writes a book or short stories, something like that. So let's just say artist or maybe you're a singer too, like songwriter. Those people are amazing. So let's just think about like all the different ways you can create and just group that as the word artist. So you're an artist if you do any creating in that manner. So to be a professional artist, I think you need a couple things. So I did take some notes. Hopefully you guys don't mind if I read them because it's super important to remember what I'm trying to say, and sometimes I'm not that great at remembering things. I don't know if it's my age. I hope not, but you never know. So one of the things that kept coming up in the videos I watched was like, how often do you do it? So for me, I'd like to paint every day. I don't always have time. I'm busy doing other things. And so I kind of broke it down into like, how many days a week do you paint, create, do your craft? So is it 1 to 2 days a week? Is it 3 to 4 days a week? Or 5 to 7 days a week? Yeah, there's like, those are the three kind of ways of looking at it. So if you are someone who enjoys painting and drawing, you may be doing that every day, or you may be doing it like at least 4 times a week. And I would say that you're on your way to being a professional artist if you're doing that. Like, let's say you're watching this video and you haven't painted or drawn anything in like 6 months. I would question whether or not you want to be professional or not, because if this is something you don't enjoy doing every day, then you may end up being disappointed with pursuing a career as an artist because it's not something you enjoy doing. So that's a big thing. Like, do you enjoy doing it? So another thing too I was trying to come up with was professional artist versus hobbyist. So you may be someone who enjoys it and paints, prolifically, like every week, 4 to 5 times a week. You're in your studio or your craft space. So maybe you're thinking, maybe I could take this to the next step if you're actually doing that much creating. Because what are you going to do with all your stuff? Like, you're going to let it pile up and just sit on a shelf, or are you decorating your own house with every square inch of the wall? So maybe that is what something is going on with you. You just want to keep it and put it on your own walls. But I will tell you that I think it's super important, if you're creating a lot of artwork, to share it. That's another step in becoming a professional artist. Share it. So for me, I'll show you right now if I can find it. This is just a little snap, like a screenshot of my Instagram page. Kind of scrolled back a little bit to get some images. So if you can see this on your screen, I don't know if you can zoom in, but I was painting every day, doing reels every day. So I'd paint birds, I'd paint trees, and that was something that I enjoyed doing as well, just filming it, filming myself paint. And then I would post it on my Instagram or YouTube or wherever. So it was definitely being shared. I'm also on Facebook if you didn't know. So those are the things that are important to think about when you're going to become a professional artist. Are you sharing it um, with others? Because I don't know. I think if you're going to have a career in art, you should be sharing. Even if you're not making money, share it online, share it on social media. Um, that was like one of my little to-dos on here was, yeah, so that was one of the things I was definitely wanting to make a point about is that you should share your art. Maybe it's with like your neighbors and friends and you're not putting it on social media, but you are sharing it. So that's the key right there. If you make art, a lot of it, and share it. So those are two things that are already pointing towards being a professional. Um, if you ask yourself this question too, what's my purpose in creating this artwork? Is it just for myself or is it for others? Hey Megan, good morning. Oh, you're taking a study break and you saw that I was online? Awesome. Thank you for joining. I always love that when I see familiar faces in the chat. And so definitely give me a thumbs up and a like and some hearts if you want. I know that maybe this subject will be helpful for someone somewhere, who's just now thinking they want to pursue a career in art. So I know I've always wanted to be an artist. If you see my video from last week where I had my little pigtails, I was reliving a childhood dream of being an artist. Like, where did the seeds of what I wanted to do start? Started when I was like 5 years old and coloring in coloring books. So definitely, if you've always wanted to be an artist, you can. That's the thing. You can. Anyone can be a professional artist. You do not have to be good at making art to be a professional artist. But you do have to kind of do these steps that I've been talking about. And I don't even know how many steps there's going to be. Maybe 4, maybe 10. I don't know. We're going to talk about them all though. Because I just watched a whole bunch of videos about it. And from what I can tell, it's more about like the amount of art you're making and if you're sharing it with others and also the reason you're doing it. There are people that make art just to make money so they can um, they may be like, okay, I'm gonna join this art show and it's in this coastal region and so we're gonna make a bunch of shrimp and crabs and boats, paint that and sell those. Yes, you will sell them. But is that what you want to do? Are you an artist because you just want to make money? That is a goal for some people, is to make money. Some want to be an artist to be famous. Is everyone going to be Van Gogh in the end? No, because even Van Gogh wasn't famous before he died, and only now he is. So if you ask me, I don't want to be famous after I die. I'm not really sure I want to be famous while I'm alive. I just want to make art that I love and that makes others happy. That's my goal. So maybe reevaluate why you're being an artist, why you're painting, why you're creating. Is it for income? Is it for recognition? Because a lot of us want, a bunch of rewards after our name. So I know there's some artists I follow on YouTube. They're very amazing. I call them successful in my book, professional in my book, and they're sharing. They're making a lot of art. They're sharing it. They've also entered shows. They've entered galleries. They've sold art, and so they're making money. I mean, there's a lot to it. I'm not saying making money is bad. What I'm saying is if you're doing it just for the money, that might not be that might not be what you want to pursue art for, but because I think there's probably easier ways to make money than creating art all the time. But and what about impacting others? So for me, I think I touched on that, was that I like to make others happy. So I'm a pet portrait artist. I do homes as well, and people. I'll do a photo from a trip that you've been on if it's special to you, from a vacation. I can do that. There's all kinds of things that I paint, and so I take commissions, and I think they really encourage, and they make the people who receive those gifts happy. So I like doing that. I like making people happy. But okay, so those are my three. Maybe it is only three things, but I will tell you that there's definitely criteria for not being professional artists that you have to avoid if you want to be a professional artist. Some of those we kind of touched on already. If like you're not painting, you're probably not going to want to be a professional artist if you don't paint very much. What about learning something new? So I just joined Skillshare, and I wasn't sure if I was going to stick to that because I tried it for a month and I was like, do I really use it that much? I did. I will be honest. I took some classes on there from other artists, watercolor artists, and I learned a couple tips and tricks. I also took some marketing classes. So, as an artist, I have to promote myself. And you're not going to be able to count on anyone else doing that for you. I mean, I have some art in a kind of art gallery down in Foley that obviously it's out there. It's in a shop. People walk in, but I'm not really betting on my art selling just because it's at that location. It really needs to be promoted by me online, social media. So I have to learn a little bit about that, right? I have to increase my skills. I also follow a bunch of YouTube tutorials. Every week on Wednesday, I follow Paul Clark. If you know, he is the one that basically taught me everything I know about watercolor. And it was because of his YouTube channel that I found the joy in creating paintings with watercolor. So that is something that I really am grateful that he had put himself out there. He's teaching on YouTube for free. You can watch his channel and learn just like I did. And so I would highly recommend you go see his channel and click and like and subscribe his channel because he's awesome. He's funny. He's great. Just love him. And so that was one thing I was learning. Always learning. I may have a degree in studio art from a college, but that doesn't mean I stop learning. That doesn't mean just because I'm not in school, I'm not learning. That's another reason I teach classes, is because I want others to keep learning. And I actually have this really important watercolor workshop on the 18th of May, so this month, and we're going to be exploring everything about watercolor. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, you definitely want to. It's going to be intense, it's going to be fun, it's going to be like something that will improve your art skills. And but just like I said before, you don't have to be a professional, like skilled artist to be a professional artist. You can be a professional artist just doing the steps I'm saying, like just make art, a lot of art, share it, and understand why you're doing the art for yourself. So those are kind of the three keys to being a professional artist. But then there's some things that, you want to always be learning. You want to always be painting, sharing it. What about goals? So that was part of the purpose thing. So set up some goals for yourself. So I was trying to paint every day and post a reel every day, and that was kind of making me a little burnt out. So I kind of stopped. And because it was getting to the point where I was like doing a 10-minute video of me painting something really, really quick, So like on my phone, used my phone, and then I actually would edit it on the way to wherever I'm going. My husband driving, so editing on the car ride in like 10 minutes and then posting it. And so I was getting a little stressed out by that for whatever reason. My schedule just got real busy and I was having a hard time keeping up doing that. And plus, as an artist, I want to give you guys better than just a 10-minute video of me trying to paint something. But today, let's see what we're going to paint today. You want to see me paint some? Let me see if I can paint some today. Let's see. So here's my desk. I've been doing some really cool mixed media pieces. You guys want to see that? Let me show you what I got here. I don't know. Can you see that? Is that in focus? I can't even tell. So I just made these cute little pieces over the weekend. And each layer I was kind of debating, like, do I need to add some more on here? And do I need more depth? Let's see. Stamping. I always want to do some stamping. Do I want to add different colors? So I don't know if you can see the gold foil on here. It is really pretty stuff that Stampin' Up makes. Not really sure if Stampin' Up still sells this stuff. If you want to go look on my website, stampinturtles.com, and then click the link to my Stampin' Up. So there's a link, makes it super easy. But this stuff, don't open this in a wind. This will fly everywhere. So we're not going to open that. And I don't have any wind going on right now. So I just love playing with ideas of, mixed media. So some people will tell you if you want to be a professional artist, do not start exploring other mediums. Do not start doing other styles. I would say if you're just starting out, you need to figure out what your style is, and you don't know what it is until you start creating. Maybe you might try watercolors for a couple weeks, and then you'd be like, you know what? I'm not really a watercolor artist, I don't think. You might try some mixed media, which I really like how these turned out. I'm going to put magnets on the back, and I'll sell these at my craft show, which I think my next one will probably be, I don't know if I'm going to go to Orlando in September or not. I'm going to try it, but definitely October, November, December, I'm going to have art shows, so I'm going to need some stuff. Maybe you're going to be one of those people that wants to paint with oils. That's always an option. I was looking into water-soluble oils and thinking maybe I wanted to try them because they're supposed to be like watercolor a little bit. I'm just going to make some mushrooms. Is that okay? I don't know. I'm going to do this and see what happens. Because we just want to play. And see, for me, I love playing. I love just trying different things. So, and this paper is the paper my husband gave me. It's really kind of antique-y looking and pretty. I like it. I don't know if I'm kind of using a reference photo, but I'm not going to probably stick to it. I don't know. But may want to put some ferns. I don't know. We're just playing. We're playing right now. See, and I think I say that a lot. We're playing. We're just playing. We're having fun. So I hope that when you're creating, you're having fun. Because to me, that's what it's about. It's about having some fun. Now, do we want these to be red? Let's see what happens if I just put some red on here. I wasn't going to make them red. I was going to make them beige, but I think the red looks pretty with the beige, don't you? And another thing about being an artist that some people I think are a little nervous about is that they don't feel good enough to be considered professional. But I will alleviate all y'all's fears in one statement. You are worthy, because the Bible says you are worthy. And if you're joining me and you're not a believer, I want you to be encouraged still, because my goal would be to help encourage you to believe in Jesus, but that's a journey everybody has to go on for themselves. And for me, I have taken the long route to being a believer, which was just kind of trusting my religion over my faith. I did have faith, but it was not that strong faith that comes from really believing. It was a faith in a institution. So, like, let's say you're Catholic or Jewish, because that's also, I think, one of the reasons that some people get upset with Jewish people is they feel somewhat privileged, like God has made them their chosen people, which of course the Bible does say that. But I also want you to know that if you're Catholic, you feel a little bit superior to the other religions, because you have been told that. You've been told your whole life that that's what, being a Catholic is kind of the best or the most closest to God. And so for me, I've just kind of bet on that, I suppose, my whole life. And now when I turned 45, I decided to, well, I didn't really decide. I don't know. I think God was the one who decided it. He's like, you're gonna end up being a true Christian, not a lukewarm. And I hope that this kind of encourages any of you. Even if you're having doubts, don't worry about it, because at some point God's going to reveal himself. I don't think there's any way you can avoid that. He will reveal. And some people are like, I don't hear his voice. And if you are one of those who don't hear his voice, let me encourage you to just try and spend time reading your Bible and see if that changes anything. Because I know that sometimes we think there's going to be some kind of an audible voice that we'll hear. Maybe you don't think that, but I've always wanted to hear pretty much, the words right out loud. Like, hey, I'm real, seek me. And I have had some moments in my life where I felt I heard it audibly, his voice. Not to be a little strange, but I do feel like I have heard God speaking to me, but it's been one word, 2 words at the most. Like, it's just been like, I guess what some people would say, a feeling more than anything. So I don't want to get too spooky wooky on y'all, but I want you to know that there's not just one way God can communicate. Don't limit him. He can communicate through audible words. He can communicate with images and thoughts. He can communicate with other people speaking to you. He can communicate through the sunrise and sunsets. He can communicate in a lot of different ways. So do not limit the Lord. He will find a way, in the best way, to communicate with you. So for me, I came to really know Jesus in my 40s, got baptized, and I have been following him, seeking him, and learning more and more about him ever since. And I have not quit. There have been some setbacks where I get a little busy with life, and then where I get complacent in my pursuing him. But he always reminds me. He says, yo, I'm still here for you. I have not forgotten you. I have not forsaken you. And I think sometimes we get those little hardships in our life as reminders of who we need. And we need to seek the Lord. So I really am so grateful sometimes for my trials, because they do bring me back to knowing him and trusting in him, and not thinking I've got to have all the answers myself, that I can actually trust in him to help me. Let's see. I'm going to put more browns in here. I feel like I can just put anything I want in here. What do you guys think? I like it. But this paper I haven't tried, so what do you think? It's interesting. I like that it's kind of a brownish tinge, like it's stained. It's got deckled edges. I kind of like that. So who knows? It'll probably look good once I'm done. What time is it? I got to keep an eye on the time. I got to leave here no later than 10:45. So it's 10:27. So we're doing good. We're doing good so far. I'm going to add some deeper, darker reds in here, because I just think we need some more red. And I like the pure red. So I hope that I've kind of helped you decide whether or not that's like the path for y'all, to pursue art as your career. I know there's a lot of videos out there, and some of them were pretty good, some of them were kind of cheesy. I think there was one guy, I think it was Paul Klein, his video from like 11 years ago I watched. And he was saying that if you can afford to go and get your master's, he said it's worth it to go and get your master's degree, because then you are spending time doing your art and focusing on your art without interruptions from daily life. So that's something, if you think about it, it sounds expensive. I actually thought about getting my master's at one point, but I ended up not doing that. And of course, my story is that I ended up becoming a admin assistant, and then went on to do other things as well, like office work, temp work. And of course, that was making the money so I could pay some bills. And that may be your thing. You may need to have a steady income. Or I'll tell you, with art, sometimes it's not steady. But I do have a new commission I need to start, and so I need to get busy on that. And but like I said in the beginning, there's just a lot of ways that you can be having fun with this and enjoying creating. And not everything's a success when I paint it, but when I do a commission, I definitely want it to be a success. There's been a few recently that I've been struggling, because I'm like, is it good enough? Is it good enough? And that could be the enemy trying to dissuade me from doing what I know God wants me to be doing. So what if we just splatter a little bit of red? Can we do that? That might be fun. I like this kind of turquoisey blue. And see, I'm starting to experiment, y'all. I just love it. I think it's kind of cool to just kind of have fun. Don't you think it's kind of cool to have fun? So I'm just going to do that for now. Just leave that. Get me some nice green. Green. Green, 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 green. Green, 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 green. Maybe I need to mix up green. Sometimes I put a little bit too much. I like to add a little red to my greens. That tones it down. Makes it more like a sage green. So if you haven't learned how to do that, that's one of the things we'll be discussing and going over during the workshop I'm teaching on May 18th. It's going to be all about, part of it's going to be about mixing some color and doing some fun stuff like that. I don't know. What do you think? Does this look pretty? I don't know. We'll have to see once it dries. But I'm not going to have time to let it dry. I'm going to have time. I do need to maybe give myself a little bit of extra time. But let me show you this before I go signing off. So that is really vibrant and pretty. I like it so far. I'm going to wait for it to dry before I add some little white dots for them mushrooms. But I really kind of like the drips and everything on there. It's kind of pretty. I may end up letting it dry and stamp. I could stamp this Helen Keller saying up here. I can stamp. I have this new stamp that I just got from Stampin' Up! That has all kinds of cool stuff. So it's just like has really cool designs and splatters and like a little notebook, field notes. That would be really cool, this little field note stamp. Could do that. Of course, got to wait for it to dry. Can also use some book pages and tear it and glue it. Like I said, I've been into the mixed media lately. I love it. It's so much fun. It allows me to be free and do whatever. And sometimes I'm like not so happy with it. But you know what happens when you're not so happy with something? You can paint over it. And you can add paper and glue it on there and just like start over like it's a brand new canvas. So there's no end to it that, if you don't like it, toss it. I would say hang on to it and start over. So like these things were not that, they were kind of making me a little, I don't know what the word is. At first I was kind of like, do I like these colors? I don't know, but now I'm kind of, it's grown on me and I like it. So I'm going to definitely sell these. I don't think I'll put them on my website. I think I'm going to save them for my craft shows. So, but anyways, I hope today has helped you all. Let me leave you with some scripture like I always do. And I think this is the key. This is the key to being professional in anything you do, okay? Anything you do. So this is the key. So Colossians 3:23 through 24, and it says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. Wow. So if I'm making something, it's for the Lord. If I'm making stuff for men, women, whoever, people, it's not going to be as good as if I were doing it for the Lord. So it's got to be in the heart. It's got to be for the Lord. And that's basically, I think that's the key. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I hope it inspired you. I hope that even if you feel you aren't good enough to be a professional artist, but you really love making art and you did those 3 steps basically at the beginning. You're making a lot of art, you're sharing your art, and your purpose to making art is to bring joy to others. I think that is key. So definitely you're on your way to being a professional artist. And there's a lot of videos out there, but I hope this one is the most encouraging to y'all. So if you liked it, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. I read every one. And I feel like I get to know a lot of you, even if I've never met you. So y'all have a blessed day and love you bunches. Mwah.